Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen for another recipe video. So today I'm excited to share with you this high protein meal prep that you should be able to make in about 30 minutes. So it is a red lentil and chickpea curry with quinoa and sautéed veggies on the side. It will make you 5 large meals with close to 40 grams of protein each, which is a perfect size meal for me. However, if you aren't such a big eater, you could definitely get 7 meals out of this with around 33 grams of protein each. This meal is so delicious and very nutritious. It keeps well in the fridge or the freezer and can be easily reheated. I am going to go over the entire macronutrient ratio at the end and all the nutrients that you get in one serving, so stick around for that if you're interested. Before we start, I just wanted to say hello to all the new subscribers that we have to this channel. We've got a whole bunch more this month than usual, so I just wanted to say thank you and hello. And if you enjoy my cooking and you want to support the channel, I have a new recipe ebook that I put out not too long ago called Easy Vegan Comfort Meals, and there'll be a link to that in the description box down below or pinned to the top comments. So definitely check that out if you're interested. If you want me to do some more meal prep videos or you have some suggestions on how I can improve this one or other meals that you want to see, definitely let me know in the comments down below because I always love hearing your suggestions. It just helps me to get better. So anyways, let's get started with this one. We're going to start with the curry because that's what takes the longest to cook. And then while that's cooking, we'll do some other things. So you want to start by chopping 1 medium-sized onion and about 3 cloves of garlic. Add to a pan with a touch of water or oil if you want, and saute this for about 5 minutes. Then add 4 tablespoons of curry powder. Saute this for another 3 to 5 minutes. Sauteing it with the curry powder will help to bring out the flavors, but you don't have to do this if you're time pressed. Then add a large can of crushed tomatoes, 2 cups of water, 1 can of coconut milk, full fat for the full flavor if you want, but if you wanted to keep the fat down, you could always use light coconut milk. However, there really is only about 20 grams of fat in each serving, so there's not a ton. Then you want to add 2 cups of red lentils. I like to rinse my red lentils a few times just until the water runs clear and it isn't bubbly anymore. Then add 1 can of strained and rinsed chickpeas. Bring all this to a boil and then turn it down to a simmer and cook for about 20 minutes. Next, rinse 2 cups of quinoa. I like to use a whisk while I'm doing this and kind of agitate it. It helps to get rid of the saponins on the outside of the quinoa, which tend to make it a bit bitter and harder to digest. Add this to a pot with 3.5 cups of either vegetable broth or water. So how I like to cook the quinoa is to cook it for about 15 minutes with the lid off. So I get it to a boil and then turn it down to a simmer, let it cook, and then after that 15 minutes, once the liquid has been mostly absorbed, I put a lid on it and then just kind of let that chill with the heat off for about 5 minutes, and I find that makes like the nicest, fluffiest quinoa. So while that stuff's cooking, it's time to saute the veggies. So I'm just gonna quickly chop up these 2 bell peppers. This one sounds like it's got like a prize or something in it. The heck? I wonder what that is. I like to use 2 different colors just so that it looks nice, but use whatever you have. Let's see what's in here. Oh my gosh, it's a little baby red pepper, or kind of green and red bell pepper. And then I'm also gonna chop up this medium-sized onion to saute with this stuff. So obviously you could saute any veggies you like here. You know, like mushrooms would be good as well. Really whatever you want. And then 2 cups or so of broccoli. So this is actually previously frozen broccoli. It's just kind of been thawing in the fridge, but you could use fresh if you want as well. Of course, that would work. And then just for some flavor, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, and around 1 teaspoon of cumin. Cumin is a nice spice to add to this because it's one of the flavors that's in curry powder. So it kind of will bring it all together and, you know, but not have it taste exactly the same as everything else. So everything should finish at around the same time. Oh my God, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. So once the curry has been simmering for about 20 minutes or so, I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup of frozen green peas to it. So you don't really have to cook these or anything. I'm just gonna add them, mix them in. And we haven't added any salt to this yet, so you probably wanna add some. I mean, if you don't like any added salt in your cooking, you're fine, but I am going to add about 2 teaspoons of salt to this. So quick tip, you'll notice that I didn't add salt until the very end of cooking it. And that's because if you add it in the beginning, it often gets kind of lost in everything and you don't notice it quite as much. And you don't want to be adding more salt than you need to. All right, so everything's done cooking and I've been letting it cool for a little while on the counter. and now it is just ready to go into containers. So these are 32 ounce or 1120 milliliter containers, and it seems to be like the perfect size. So you just want to lay these out, and if you are using plastic containers like these, then you definitely want to try and transfer it to something either glass or like a ceramic bowl or something if you are gonna like reheat it in the microwave, because you do not want to be microwaving in plastic. So for 5 servings, you want to put just over a cup of quinoa in each container, about a cup of the mixed veg, and then about a cup and a half of the curry. And then if there's anything left over, obviously just distribute it evenly. And I like to finish it with a little bit of green onion as well. Of course, you could add cilantro or some chopped up spinach or whatever you want, but just some green onion on there is gonna be perfect. All right, so there it is. You've got 5 delicious meals for the next 5 days, good for lunch or dinner, whatever you want. So let's jump over to Chronometer and check out the full macros and micros. So here's the entire recipe, if you guys are curious, but what's more important is per serving. So if you break it up into 5 equal servings, this is what we're looking at: 857 calories. So it's a pretty big meal. And the macros are 16% protein, 63% carbs, 22% fat. So that is pretty standard for me whenever I check my macros. So that'll give us 38 grams of protein, 134 grams of carbs. And I know some of you are probably looking at that being like, oh my gosh, that's high. But that is just the reality of whole plant foods. I eat a whole bunch of carbs, sometimes 300, 400, 500 grams in a day. And I manage to stay lean all year round. It's definitely not the carbs coming from whole plant foods like lentils or chickpeas that is making people overweight or unhealthy. And then 21 grams of fat. I think this is a pretty good meal. And then as we go down, we can see the micronutrient breakdown. And you can see that it is a very nutritious meal. I'm not gonna go over all of this. You guys can look at it and check it out yourself. But yeah, I think this is definitely a pretty decent lunch or dinner. And then just for anyone that's curious, and if you have a smaller appetite and you're gonna be breaking this up into 7 different meals, this is what you're gonna be looking at. So 612 calories, 27 grams of protein, 95 grams of carbs, and then 15.6 grams of fat. And then again, here are the micronutrients. All right, so this smells so good. I'm definitely gonna eat one right now. So let me get into it and I'll let you guys know how it is. A little curry, a little quinoa. Wow, it is absolutely perfect. Man, I really think you all are gonna like this one. So if you do end up making this, definitely tag me on Instagram at Simnett Nutrition. You know you love seeing your meals that have been inspired by my cooking. Also, let me know your thoughts of this meal in the comments section down below. Do you want me to do another meal prep? Suggestions for that one? Subscribe so you can see more, and I will see you soon in another video. Thanks for watching.